All right, everybody, welcome back. Here we are, 2004 Dodge Ram 2500 Cummins. So we're going to pull the transmission out of this and work on the clutch. So the first thing we're going to do is come inside here, and this console has to come out, and this shifter has to come out from the top, and then the top piece transmission comes off so you can get this thing out. So first, we're going to dig in here. There's an 8mm underneath this thing. Take this mat out, there's an 8mm under there. Take this out, there's a couple under there. We'll get this plastic thing out of the way. So now, there was one there, 8mm, one right there, and one right there. So then you're just gonna pull this out of here. And maybe fold this up like this. And then you can get this like this. Okay, then once you slide that up out of the way, you're going to take a wrench on this and crack that loose and twist this off. Then we got to take this out of the way, the carpet pulled back, and we got to take out these 8mm that surround this whole rubber piece, and then that comes off. All right, 19mm, and it's going to be tight. And then you're going to twist this all the way off. All right, here we are after we get everything off. We're left with just this rubber boot right here. So you just peel this carpet back out of the way, like so. Like so. And you take these 8mm off, and you get this rubber boot off. All right, so after you pull this off of here, then you're gonna be left with this shifter top, and this is what keeps it from coming out. So these 4 10mm or 3/8, sometimes they're 3/8, sometimes they're 10. Take those 4 out, and this top just comes off. Okay, these are 3/8. All right, you just pop that cut over to the side. After you get this cap out, you just set it to the side like that. This has a little line hooked onto it, which is going to stay in the truck anyway. But after you get that moved out of the way, now you can go underneath and start taking stuff apart. All right, here we go underneath. 2-wheel drive, so super easy, and it's a diesel, so you don't have to remove exhaust. It's about as easy as it gets right here. So we're going to put a jack under here, strap this thing down to a jack, get this cross member out of here, get this drive shaft out of here. It's 2 15s. Take the weight off the cross member. It's another secret that I do is put this behind the bolt while you're turning it and pull it out. Pry bar, and you're going to pry on this and scoot it over so that way it comes out. Just like that. All right, now that that's out of there, it's opened everything up. We'll get this mount off, and we'll get this drive shaft off. And then we're going to take this slave cylinder off that presses on the clutch and unplug this, and then strap it down to the jack and take the bell housing bolts out and get it out. Check out what that clutch looks like in there. After you got everything off and you got the strap holding it onto the jack, then you're going to take bell housing bolts out. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's like 7 or 8 of them. Take those out all the way around. And this thing's kind of a pain sometimes. You have to pry it around and get it off. After you get the transmission out, this is the clutch. So, one thing right off the bat, you can see, look at that pilot bearing. Completely destroyed. So that definitely was making noise. And then also I noticed, if you look up in here and you see those springs right there, how they're kind of worn off real bad and shiny. So, new clutch, new bearing. I'm going to get this clutch off of here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 3/8 or 10 millimeters. Okay, so this is a 3/8. So now that we got this clutch off, you can see that this bearing is just completely gone. And the clutch, you can see this one right here, all loose in there. So we're gonna go new clutch, which comes with a new bearing. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this old one out of here. We're gonna take this flywheel off, push it out. And now this is out here on the floor. You can see you can put a socket or something in here and just drive it out. That was really stuck. And I'll put this back on. Alright, now we're going to open our new clutch. Disc, alignment dial with the bearing, throwout bearing, and a pressure plate. So what we need is this bearing right here. This is the bearing. The side with the numbers, with the part number, is going to face out. This side's going to go in. It's flush and it's beautiful. So now we're going to put the clutch on. We're going to clean this flywheel up and then put the clutch on. This is the clutch disc, and this part right here, you can see it goes inside the pressure plate like this, And then this, you can see, says flywheel side. We're gonna put this tool through the center, and then we're gonna line it up and bolt it on. Okay, so right here, I'm just making sure that this thing is exactly in the center before I tighten any of the bolts. The disc is still loose, and I want to make sure that that is directly in the center so it stabs easy. And now you can see this thing slides in and out very easy, no restriction, and that's going to make the transmission slide in nice and easy. Okay, here we are with the transmission on a jack going back in. We got the fork and we got the throttle bearing. You're just going to take this and stick it right here and fold it in there like that. And then this clip, it goes over this ball right here. So you just slide this on here, like so, and then smack that on there. Just a tiny bit of grease, not a lot. This just came off of the bearing, because you don't want it getting on the clutch. And then you got, bam, smooth operation. Now we're going to stab the transmission back in there. All right, here's another thing I do before I stab this, is if the transmission's in neutral, then this will not turn if you turn the back shaft. So if you turn this back shaft, the front one won't turn. And when you have it up in there and you're trying to stab it into these splines, and if the splines don't line up, it will play hell with you trying to get the transmission to line up and go in there. So what you do is you just put the transmission in gear with this right here. Now that it's in gear, you turn this back shaft and the front shaft turns. And so then when you have it up in there and it won't line up, then you just grab this and you turn it a little bit and it'll fall right in. But that's a secret to keep you from fighting it. Let's get this big thing stabbed. Here I'm going to push, 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 and it's not going to want to go in. You see I turned that shaft on the back and it slid right in. And you can see right here, when you push them together, you want it to be all the way together and not have to suck it together with the bolts. If you have to suck it together with the bolts, something is wrong. And so right here, I'm taking my pry bar and I'm bending back that little rod that's on the exhaust to get that bracket back to where the bolt holes will line up. Because to get that thing off, I had to bend that thing out of the way. Alright, so after you get all that in together, the last thing you're going to do is put the drive shaft in and put the cross member and the mount back on, and that'll be it for a clutch job. Alright everybody, thanks for watching, appreciate the subscribers, and I'll see you on the next one.